Hey guys, so today's look is going to be another Overwatch inspired look. This time I decided to do Mercy. She's another character I really enjoy in the game. Again, I just took my inspiration from her original character's outfit. I actually really enjoyed how this came out. When I was first putting the colors together, I was like, is this gonna look great together? But I think they play well together. And if you happen to be watching this right after I posted my Farrah video a couple weeks ago and you notice my hair looks absolutely different than it did in that video, that's because I actually filmed that video months ago and my hair has grown and obviously changed color completely than it was then. So if you are interested in seeing how I created this look, continue watching. So first thing I'm going to do is prime my eyes per usual. I'm going to be using my MAC Paint Pot in Soft Ochre for this. Now I'm going into my Kat Von D Metal Matte Palette and I'm going to set the eye with Bone. Next I'm going into this pale yellow color and I'm just going to buff that into the crease kind of all over. It doesn't show up that well, but it kind of lends itself to the entire look later on. Jumping into my Anastacio Artist Palette, I'm taking a really bright yellow color and I'm going to place that into the crease as well. Jumping right back into the Kat Von D palette, I'm taking this light brown color and I'm going to basically kind of carve out where I want this color to go in my crease. It's kind of like a cut crease, I won't say officially, but I felt like that color was a little bit too light, so I'm going into this darker brown called Oak and I'm going to do exactly what I was doing before, just kind of carving out where I want it to go in the crease with this really precise brush. And after I figured out exactly where I wanted it, I took this fluffier brush and I just went in between both suede and oak a few times, just going back and forth until I built up the color to the degree I wanted it to be. Since I felt like I blended away too much of the yellow, I just went back and added more of that into the crease. I actually went back and forth between this and the oak and suede mixture a few times until I felt like it was blended out and the amount of color I wanted was there. For the lid, I'm taking a bright icy white color. This is Vapor by Urban Decay, and I'm basically kind of cutting out the crease with this and a precise brush. I just went over it a couple of times until I felt like the amount of pigment I wanted on my lid was bright enough. To add some more dimension, I'm going to take this really dark gray color and start putting that into the outer V portion of my eye. I picked up very little amount on my brush to start with because this is a really pigmented color and I don't want it to be too dark to begin with, so that's why it kind of looks like it's not that pigmented at first, but I just kept building this up slowly to make sure everything looked really well blended. And to further blend it in, I did go back in with Vapor just a little bit. Going over to the face, I'm going to prime using this NYX illuminating primer because I just felt like going with a glowy look today. And I'm just rubbing that into my skin, pretty self-explanatory there. For foundation, I'm going to use my Bourjois Healthy Mix Serum Foundation, which is a little bit too light for me, I know. I'm aware. I'm kind of in between colors right now because I did actually end up getting a little bit of color a couple weeks before this was filmed. So please don't mind that, but it doesn't look as noticeable after everything's on. And I'm just patting that all in with my beauty blender. I like to dot all over the place first and then go back and blend everything in. For concealer, I'm going to use my Tarte Shape Tape. I think like everyone else in the world uses at this point. And again, I am kind of in between colors, so this is a little bit light on me. I kind of want to get the light one I was using before again and mix them together, but yeah, so don't really feel like spending the money. Sometimes I get a little crazy in my inner corners when I'm blending the concealer with the Beauty Blender, so I just went in with a brush to blend it that way instead so I could be a little bit more precise. To set everything under my eyes, I'm going in with my RCMA No Color Powder. I didn't show it because it's in a little Laura Mercier sifter right now because it's easier to use that than its packaging. But yes, that is what I'm using, and I'm putting that all over my forehead, in my smile lines, anywhere that I feel like I'm going to crease. And then to brush it all away, I'm using this NYX No Filter powder, just a very light dusting all over the skin. Contouring, I'm going in with the Anastacio contour palette, and I'm using a mixture of the lightest shades at the bottom. I really should have just stuck to the middle lightest shade. It was a little bit dark. Actually, we'll see that on my next cheek. I went a little crazy, but it's okay because I'm going to blend it all in. I'm also going to take this along my jawline to carve that out. And then whatever's left on the brush, I'm going to put on the sides and all around my nose, just a little bit. To blend out and tone down that contour a bit, I'm just taking some of my NYX powder on that big fluffy brush I used earlier. I'm also going to very lightly contour around my head. I don't need much of it, so I just try to add just a little bit to even everything out. Now I'm going in with my butter bronzer from Physicians Formula on a big fluffy brush to just kind of warm up my skin a little bit, try to take away some of this paleness. For blush, I'm going in with my Benefit Cheek Palette, and it's the color Dandelion. And I'm just going to place that on the apples of my cheeks and blend it all into my contour. For highlighter, I'm using this Essence Pure Nude highlighter. It's become my favorite lately. It just looks so beautiful, as you can see, and at the same time, pretty natural. Moving on to eyeliner, I'm using the NYX Matte Eyeliner, and I'm using this little art brush actually to carve out my wings. I just have a hard time using the NYX wand getting a really precise line, so this is really just an extra step that's not entirely needed. And because of how matte that liner is, it gets really clumpy in my eyelashes, so I just like to brush them out real quick. Moving on to the lower lash line, I'm just repeating the same steps as the top. I'm using the light yellow, and then I'm going in with the bright yellow, and then I'm going in with a mixture of suede and oak. A more precise brush, I'm taking the dark gray color and I'm getting as close to the lash line as possible with that, and I'm only bringing it halfway across. The waterline, I'm going to add another pop of yellow using this ColourPop liner. I believe it's in the shade Punch. I'm going to quickly curl my lashes, and I'm also going to pop on a Smashbox eye primer to try to get my lashes as long as possible without using false lashes, which I'm sure would look really cool with this look. Also, I used the Better Than Sex mascara, which got cut out, so I'm sorry about that. Which means we're moving right on to the lips. I'm using this MAC lip liner, and I believe it's called Summer Fruit. And I'm going to fill it in using matte peach stock. And then I realized I need an inner corner highlight, so I just took the one out of my ShanXO palette. It's just like a very frosty white color, and I'm popping that on. And that's the completed look. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time.